Hi and welcome to Deep in the Bunker, where it is the pear harvest time. That time of year we got millions and millions of pears out in trees, so it doesn't matter if you're wild harvesting, you're growing them at home. Whatever variety you've got your Concord, your Conference, your Moorcroft, your Boer Superfin, your Winter Nellis, etc., so forth and so on, your Bartlett. It goes on and on and on. There's a million uses of them. So today we're going to explore a couple of them to give you an idea what to do. And let's start with the very best, my Boer Superfin, i.e. super fine. And it's absolutely perfect, lovely for poaching, lovely for very slow cooking and then preserving. That's what I'm going to do, is I'm going to preserve it. And I think I'm going to preserve it in the very best way possible, just in time for Christmas. I'm going to have that lovely Christmas treat. I'm going to go for a spiced poached pear. So as you may or may not be aware, my Cadillac this year absolutely failed, so it struggled to leaf earlier on in the year. It was a bit stressed out, change of pot, etc., but not a problem. I'm hoping it'll come next year, and if it doesn't come next year, then the year after, and this will be absolutely wonderful. This is the king of poached pears, even slower cooked than the Boer Superfin. It has to be. Apparently Louis XIV, 13th, whatever imp either was, his descendants, this is in Versailles and it's that good. He adored it. So, had to come up with a wild card. So what was I going to do? Adapt and overcome. Quite simply, here we are. The Moorcroft, a peri pear tree, highly astringent pears. But, an idea. Could this be actually used for culinary purposes? Could you make something out of it? Well, I just made crab apple jelly, so why not a pear jelly? Yes, it's astringent, but the pectin is really high in it because of that. So, a pear jelly, a pear jam, whatever you want to call it. I think it would work, and I could definitely try that. Or, and this could be really pushing it, a chutney, you know, with enough spices, enough everything in there. You're going to go it out. It's got the bite to it. It can make it. So either way, I think this is going to be an experiment, and I'm going to have a lot of fun. As always, I found a super easy recipe that even I can follow. Quite simply, 3.2 pounds of peeled and chopped pears, 700 ml cider vinegar, 2 onions chopped again, 2 tablespoons of mustard seeds and ground ginger, and we're going to go with cinnamon, dash of that, cranberries and raisins. Because I'm going to do this for a Christmas one, this is my twist to this very classic recipe, will be 500 grams, and I'll mix it up, some raisins, some cranberries, whatever the thing takes me. And of course the sugar, I need 750 grams of that. Quite simply just chop it up, put it in a pot, boil away. 40 minutes later I've got a lovely pulp consistency, and pour it into my clean jars, and we'll see the end result later. So let's do it. So in with the sugar, 750 grams as I stated, 700 ml of cider vinegar. You know what, these are super pretty little bowls. I'm sure there's something I can do with that. Christmas coming up, a little present, something like that. Ginger infused, olive oil, garlic infused, you know, that sort of thing. Let's do it later. Okay, then we come up with the 500 grams of the raisins and cranberry mix. So I'm just going to go whack it out there. 200 of one, and into the pot. The cranberry and raisin mix. Okay, so I need a teaspoon of salt to go with this. Mustard seeds, I need 2 teaspoons, so half, 1, 2, 3, 4 half teaspoons. Ginger, 1 teaspoon, so that's 1, 2, 3, 4. Teaspoon of cinnamon, because of course this is going to be a Christmas recipe. So 1, 2 half teaspoons in there. And now it's time to get on with the chopping. So we're going to chop up our onions, chop up our pears, whack it all in there. let's move on to the pears. So instead of 3.1 pounds, I'm sure I've got more than enough here. Scusi. So, I say these are my Moorcroft pears, they're my alcohol Perry pears, and this is purely an experiment. But you know what, if you don't try, you'll never know. So, demonstrate the first one. Peel it, cut it in quarters, and we're going to cut out the core. Simple as that. Of all of them. 1, 2, 3, 4. That's going to take the weight down quite significantly, which is why, you know, so out of every pear here, I'm ending up with just over 4 ounces, 4 or 5 ounces of pear. So multiply that, I'm going to need this entire bowl to make up the weight I need. So this is super easy to work out. So you just take off the outer skin, cut it in quarters, get rid of the skin of course. And don't forget, this is a natural product. You may not get the exact line perfect, but it's good enough. I picked, say, 10% more than I need, and if I find any rotten ones in there, simply replace it a few more. So cut rough chunks is what I want. Side. And in the pot. Right, all peeled. Let's get it into the pot now and simmer away for 40 minutes. Giving this a stir now. It's starting to come down, starting to get hot and boiled. So, yeah, about a half hour more. Let's see how we get on. Right, while it's cooking away, let's get rid of all this, turn it into compost, and get ready for the main event. We are going to go with our spiced poached pears. That is going to be pears spiced with ginger, cumin, everything great. So at Christmas time, it gives that just that wonderful lift. Now I have made this back in 2018, and here's the remainder of the sauce. And you can see the pear's long gone. It was delicious, trust me. But the pear juice is still there, the vinegar, the liquor, whatever you want to call it. And try and get up. Yep, it's there. Oh, that is lovely. That is absolutely lovely. That's the ginger, that's the vinegar, that's the sugar, everything in there you expect and more. So I've got to try and emulate this, slash copy it, slash remember it. And I think I'm pretty much there. The recipes I use all are found off the internet, written down, and hopefully I wrote them down properly. And of course you just couldn't get a simpler recipe than this. All I need is really simple. So 500 grams of sugar into the pot. So once again, 3 pounds of pears, and to that I'm going to add peppercorns, ginger, whole cloves, pint of white vinegar, not cider vinegar, just white vinegar, all the way in there. Stick it in, couple of bay leaves. I'm going to peel off an orange, and then I'm going to stick in the juice as well, and that's pretty much it. It's a matter of boiling down and making it work. Now the only hard bit is judging the pears. When they're ready, I don't want them over poached, I don't want them under poached. Under poached they're not done, and over poached, well, they're just mush. So, in with the orange peel. Cut on my orange and in with the juice. And of course, we're going to move on to ginger now. No need to trim off the skin at all, just thinly as you can. Just get a piece, size your thumb, 5 centimeters, 2 inches, whatever you want to call it. And there we go. Once again, in the pot. Follow that with a few peppercorns. The recipe calls for quite a handful really. And of course, some cloves. The smell of them I absolutely want. Not too many, just a few. In we go. Alright, I'm heating these through now, just make sure the sugar's dissolved. bring it up to the boil and then get it going for 5 minutes. Well, it is really a ponging of vinegar in here. This will settle down, believe me, but right now it is eye-watering stuff. So let's get back into the table. We'll start chopping and preparing our pears. Let's treat these with the respect they deserve. So, in with some lemon juice into a bowl of water, prevent any browning. You need to remember we're super thin, not as horrible as more cross pears we were just playing with it a minute ago. In there. So once again we're going to simply peel off the skin of these, and we're going to half or quarter them, whatever we sort of got the space for in a jar to do with. As you can see, skin peels off really easy, lovely thin skin. Cool. And what we'll do now, let's say, I'm just going to halve these, I think, because presentation wise should bring it out so much better. And a great little trick I learned was to use a melon baller to scoop out the heart seeds of the pear. Now if you haven't got a melon baller, your measuring spoons will do just fine. So in it goes, twist it around as best you can. Okay. And voila, out it comes. With a stalk, quite simply, don't be afraid of losing a bit, take it off either side and it should pop out. Trim up the top and bottom. Okay. And that is a pear, definitely presentation. Just take that out. Look at that, perfect. Alright, that's the last of them. Hopefully the sugar's dissolved by now, so let's go and poach them off. Right, into the pan. The sugar is boiling away nicely. So, perfect, and make sure they go down. Yeah. So about 10-15 minutes, that's going to be poached away just fine, and we're going to be looking good. Right, so checking on the chutney. It's starting to get there, it is mashing down, I'm getting a lovely mash. I want to keep going, I'm going to hard boil this until it's absolutely just pulpy, the fruit is expanded, and that's what I want. So when my eyes stop watering, this is going to be an absolutely magical treat. Just get these little look, and they are just fine. Transfer them to the back. So we need to get our jars, sterilized jars, out of the oven. Of course they are red hot, so but I want it this way, so absolutely no contaminant whatsoever in between me putting the jar out and the contents in the jar. Here we go. Take the oven off. So with a slotted spoon, first pear out. Oh, hear that sizzle when it hits it. Perfect. And again. Right, let's pour in some juice. As you can see, the peppercorn's going in and the liquid has slightly changed colour, which is exactly what I want. Now I'm going to shove some ginger and orange peel in there and make it even tastier. Alright, that is absolutely looking scrumdiddlyumptious. I tell you, to use a phrase is a bad thing, but there's no. And to prove it, I've got one here, freshly poached. The smell is divine, you've got it, it's sweet, it's beautiful. El dente, to the tooth, perfect. You know, can I stick any more cinnamon, zacharines, etc. in? I don't know, but this is it's going to mature. The flavours of the next few months are really going to get there. Excuse me, got a peppercorn. Yep. So, yeah, that's spicy. Yeah. So that will absolutely get there and it'll be lovely. Come Christmas time, this stick a cracker down, stick cheese on top, and one of these to cover it, and juice. Perfect for those winter nights. Absolutely perfect. December, January, it's gonna be it. Right. In the meantime, let's have a look at our chutney. So which has been going for over an hour now, and I'm really impressed. The pears have not turned to mush. They are, as you can see, still very much there. They're firm-ish, and it is tasting like a very raw, very new, fresh chutney. Once again, over the next few months, that's going to be perfect. So let's get on with jarring it up and sealing it up. So this really does mark the beginning of the fruit picking season. So here I've made my poached pears, spice poached pears. I've got my pear chutney, but there's so much more out there. There's going to be apples, there's going to be gauges, there's going to be damsons, sloes, there's going to be nuts. You've got your cob nut, your walnuts, your pecan nuts. It's all out there, all to be picked. I'm going to find them, I'm going to pick them, I'm going to make something from it. I am going to live such a good life this winter. It's going to be my best life, and it should be yours too. So simply do the same. Get out there, do what makes you happy, enjoy it. Don't let anyone stop you. If you enjoy play pin shooting, go there and shoot it. Just shoot it, and hang out with your buddies. Be happy, be fruitful. So until next time, it's been Deep in the Bunker. Stay safe, stay sane, take care.